Are you making retirement planning one of your resolutions this year? You might still have a few more years of work ahead, but looking at your retirement goals can still be on the resolution list. Here to tell us how is Jim Yee, financial educator and founder of retirehappy.ca. Nice to have you back in our studio, Jim.
Always great to be back. Thanks.
Okay, so of course we're talking resolutions and all. With retirement planning, if it is on the resolution list, where should we start?
Yeah, I think for most people, we think of the proverbial how much is enough, how much money should we have, how much should we save. And while those issues are very important, I've always said that true success in retirement planning comes from your ability to harmonize two issues, one of which is money issues, but the other is lifestyle issues. And I think the key to a successful retirement plan lies in your ability to bring these two together. So the analogy I've used is if you think of these as circles, the more you can bring these circles together or overlap them, the more successful your retirement will be.
Okay.
Yeah. For some people, they don't overlap. So common example is too big of dreams and not enough money, right? That's the one problem we all fear the most, but it's not the only problem. Ironically, we see a lot of people who actually do have enough money, whatever that means. They have pension plans through work and they've saved some money in RSPs, add in CPP and OAS, and they actually have a decent retirement income. So then they retire only to find that they're bored out of their tree, right?
Bored because they don't have enough to do.
Right, so it's a different problem, but still a significant problem nonetheless. So it's really about bringing everything together. And I think when you're young, you focus on the money issues, save, buy RSPs, TFSAs. But as you get closer to retirement, if your goal, if retirement planning is a resolution and you're within 5 years of retirement, or even 10 years, it's important to incorporate that lifestyle component into it. So.
It can be so hard though when you're working along, you're kind of thinking, okay, retirement down the road, but there's all these external influences and you see, the commercials of people on boats and that. I mean, it's hard.
For sure, yeah. I call it retirement pornography, because, we've all bought into this image, right? If you think of, a company that's going to advertise anything to do with retirement, they typically use images of, the beach and the ocean and the palm trees. And so if you don't really think about the lifestyle part, you're going to buy into what's been thrown at you, right? So we're all told we should travel more. We're all told, but traveling in retirement is still something we're going to do some of the time, but not necessarily something we're going to do most of the time. So the key to retirement planning from a lifestyle perspective is to have sort of a realistic perspective. I call it planning your life at home. And when I use the word home, I don't mean your household, but I do mean your everyday lifestyle. And instead of retirement being the dream, maybe for many people, it's just an extension of the life that you're already living.
Right, yeah, there's a lot of people who are still working. Mind you, they scale it way back, just part-time job, they can't completely stop.
Well, it's the new retirement, right? I mean, if you think about 40 years ago, you retired at 65, you statistically lived into your early 70s, you really retired into old age. And because of that, most people had a very similar or the same type of retirement. But today it's like completely different. Retirement can be anything you want it to be. We're retiring earlier because we've bought into the commercial of Freedom 55. We're living longer. So now retirement is becoming a longer and longer phase of our lives. And because of that, there's more choice and more options. There's no convention anymore. And that can be good, but that can also be bad because sometimes too much choice has paralyzed us from making decisions. And it's hard to sort of envision what life would look like when there's so many choices out there.
Okay, I have a minute left. I just
Sure.
want to talk about this. We've talked about lifestyle and that, but of course people thinking, okay, financial aspect of it, 2016 done, but we still have to think of our RSPs, that sort of thing, as we get into the planning for our resolution.
Yeah, I mean, RSPs are still, one of the cornerstones of a financial, of a retirement plan, the financial side of it. So, we've added TFSAs and that's sort of complicated things. But yeah, your RSPs, pensions, if you have a plan at work, and your employer is matching some of those RSP contributions, take advantage of these things. Yeah, we're in the heart of now RSP season, so RSPs are still critically important to your retirement plan. Yeah. Absolutely.
Deadline March 1st, right?
You got it.
All right. Well, we'll talk to you, I'm sure, before that about that in more details. Thank you so much, Jim.
Thanks for having me.
Always a pleasure.